you don't want itchy cock, you know.
I gotta edit that out.
Oh, okay,
I gotta edit that out now.
My bad.
God damn it. Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have let it out before.
Is this just like the fucking opening for Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe? I gotta edit that out now.
Well,
God damn it, I'm never gonna get ad revenue.
I believe in you. I believe in you. I'm sure you will. You have the skill necessary to edit this out.
Oh
But
god.
since you're editing this part out, I guess I can just say whatever I want, right? No, I'm kidding. Alright.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm George, and again with me is my friend Khalil, and we are now reading Deadpool Killustrated.
Of course.
This is the sequel to Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, which we have read earlier. You see we're now in a new set, had to move things around a bit.
Yeah.
But this is written again by Cullen Bunn, but now it has different art, as Matt Malili involved in it. Matteo Malili? It's two L's and
Matteo Lolly, maybe? Loli? I know what that sounds like, but like I'm pretty sure I'm fairly certain that's straight up like how it's pronounced.
Maybe, but I'm just gonna say my version.
He just has a bad last name. To be honest.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry, Matteo.
L-O-L-L-I.
But yeah, it's a sequel to Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, which is self-explanatory, and it starts off in Deadpool in the Pacific Ocean in 1850.
Of course, as we know, he's a very popular
Across time. He's a very popular across time 1850s character.
Of course.
And Deadpool's like floating in the middle of the ocean, and he's basically thinking like, you know, there comes a time in every man's life when they start to think to themselves, we're gonna need a bigger boat. And so it's like, and so he sees like something like splashing against the water, like, okay, here we go. Moby Dick!
The man himself, the white whale. Yo, he got scars on. Oh no, I guess he's been hunted and stuff.
Yeah, he's being hunted by Ishmael and Deadpool as well.
I guess that makes sense.
So it's like, so this is the big guy, Moby Dick, me in a dinghy. The metaphor isn't lost on Eddie's capsized, and he's eaten by Moby Dick, and the red box is talking like, how did we get here? Oh wait, yeah, no, I remember now. And so we cut to him. It's 163 years in New York, in the multiverse. It is like, well, 163 years in Moby Dick time, but like 5 days earlier in another universe. And the first thing we see is the Baxter building, and it's destroyed, and we see there's a bloody mail sack. This is, I'm pretty sure he killed the mailman from Fantastic Four, the character that Stan Lee played.
Yeah.
And in it we see like we see that there's like fan mail from kids to the Fantastic Four, and Deadpool's sitting in like chairs. Like, you know, they're all just like lambs to like the cosmic slaughter of all this. And all of this started with just one simple lie. And Deadpool says, as he's surrounded by the corpses of all the Marvel characters he's re-killed in this universe, he says, the end is near. And you see there's a bunch of characters. Like you get like Angel, like dead against the railing. Mr. Fantastic's been stretched out again.
Oh, the thing just has a hole in it.
Ben Grimm has a hole in his chest. Wolverine's been sent down to his skeleton. I don't know what he's did to Spider-Woman, Miss Marvel, and Black Widow, but I'm pretty sure he strangled Nightcrawler with his own tail.
Dang. That's brutal. He definitely hung...
he hung Doctor Strange. I think that's Hercules. I don't know how he died, but he's dead as shit.
He looks just chilling, to be honest.
Oh, I think that's Wildcat. That's cut in half.
Ooh.
But also, I like this bit. He has all like the helmets of the old Iron Men. Like he's decapitated all these Iron Men. There's another bit. Colossus has a saw through his head, and there's another fucking Wolverine, right down there. So he's killed another Wolverine.
Dang.
Also, Beast is dead and Johnny's dead.
Plus.
But then he's like talking like, but Deadpool was like, the end is near, but it's never going to be over, is it? Like, the more and more times I like kill these guys, like I kill and I kill, but there's another Spider-Man, another Captain America, another Miss Marvel, like superhero. Like the red box is like superheroes are the multiversal cockroach. And Deadpool's like, I wonder, do you think they'll kill me after I've done all of this? And so he puts a gun to his head and he blows his brains out, but he's still alive.
Of course, yeah.
Because of his healing factor.
Mm-hmm.
And because the writers won't let him die. But I like this bit with all the Spider-Man he's killed. Because he killed Miles Morales by shooting him in the head, possibly. He shot another Spider-Man. He's like shooting Spider-Man in the head.
That's just the...
There's like 3 Spider-Men with bullet holes in their heads.
Yeah.
God damn it, Deadpool. And so Deadpool goes down into the secret base of all of these super genius villains he's captured. He's like, good evening, Mad Scientist Brigade. What nasties have you guys made today? Have you designed a zombie virus? Marvel zombies. Mentally unstable molecules? Pin particle parasites? Like, come on. The name of the game is genocide and the business is booming. And so I think this is like the Mad Tinkerer.
Yeah.
He goes up to Deadpool like, okay, so, look, you believe that everything around us is fictional, that we are nothing more than just characters designed to entertain and puppeteer, but you somehow are self-aware. You're a rogue entity. You're that one small hair that's unaligned with the rest of the head. What you need to be to set yourself free is you need to become metacidal. And we get like this intersplice of him like killing Spider-Man again, and then again, and then again. Is like the first one is of him blowing Spider-Man's brains out from Marvel when Deadpool goes to Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
The other one, he's like incinerated Ben Reilly as he's swinging through the city. And I can tell it's Ben Reilly because that's his his 90s 2000 Spider-Man costume.
Mm-hmm.
And he's strangling symbiote Spider-Man with a garrote wire as his Spidey senses are going off. And so it's like, so in theory, you trapped yourself in a cycle of hunting and killing, but what you need to do to get out of this is you need to go into the classics that created this universe and destroy them from within. You need to go into the Ideaverse, which are basically the inspirational building blocks of our entire world, and destroy it. And the red box is like, and if we kill the inspirations, the heroes cease to exist. Like, and Deadpool goes, oh, I like that. But that means I die too, right? That means I have to kill everything. I kill myself. That means I have to go to the one place I fear the most. So he goes to the library. And he's reading, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. He's reading A Tale of Two Cities. All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. It is little remarkable that... And he starts like trailing off and he falls asleep. Mm-hmm. He's like, boring! Oh, no more. If I read another, I'm gonna go fucking apeshit. I'd rather kill Spider-Man a million more times than read another one of these. And Verbox is like, at this rate, it will take forever to pick out which ones created our targets. So there's really another one thing we can do. Like, yeah, kill them all. And so these scientists created this portal that will take him into the Ideaverse. Mm-hmm. And it was like, you guys did so great. I left you all with a present. As a thank you. And so he goes in, and the scientist is like, okay, whew, we need to find a way to take over this world before he comes back. Because I don't know if he's going to come back, but, you know, by the time he's probably going to be dead. So let's just do this. And the present he left is a Deadpool bot that starts killing all of them.
I thought it was going to be a bomb.
No, but it's much worse.
Yeah.
And the thing's like, you know, the robot's like, you've all been working so hard. Who wants a back rub? And he's like, circular saws on his arms, and he's just like slicing them in half. And he falls into La Mancha, Spain, where he is skewered by Don Quixote.
Oh. Yeah.
And Don Quixote is like, what folly is this? What insult that you would pierce my blade and I wave you around like some banner. And Del was like, oh no, why'd it have to be you? I actually like you, but fuck it. Hey, you know, you got something in your eye. And he cuts his eye out.
Dang.
He starts like screaming. Don Quixote's like, God, please give me strength. And he shoots him in the head. And then Sancho Panza goes up to him like, I mean, Grace, you killed him. And Deadpool's like, were you? Oh, on second thought, never mind. Kills him. Consider the windmill tilted, is what Deadpool says. And so we're back to the 1850s, and we're on board the Pequod. And Captain Ahab is like, one of the crew members is like, Captain, we see the whale. And he's like, out of my fucking way!
Oh, yeah,
he goes
dude
and he
loves that whale.
Yeah, Captain Ahab fucking wants that whale, and he sees it's dead.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, no! No! I wanted to kill it! This was my kill! Even in death, the fucking thing tests me! It tests me! And Deadpool pulls himself out of the blowhole of Moby Dick. And he's like, he's brought up and he's holding Pinocchio, and he stabbed a knife into Pinocchio's head. He's like, wait, how did you get in my hands? What are you supposed to be? And he sees Pinocchio becomes Vision.
Oh.
Because Pinocchio is a thing that was made of an
like
object.
Yeah.
That
So he's like
became real.
A real boy.
And Vision is a robot that wants to be real. So there's two correlations between them. And it's like, oh, well, that's weird. And so there was like, Captain Ahab was like, so what be your name? And it was like, call me Ishmael. And then Ishmael goes up to him and was like, that's my name. Like, oh, hey, that's neat. We have something in common. For instance, I got a knife. Okay, I have a knife in my hand, and you got one ripping your lungs to ribbons. And he stabs Ishmael to death. He's like, all right, sailors, from hell's heart, for hate's sake, you know how it goes. And we cut to 1895 England, and we see Sherlock Holmes being given something, and Watson's like, what is this? It was an inspector. He's like, so what in heaven's name is it? And Sherlock Holmes is like, it's a message. The game is afoot. No, the game's a hand. God damn you. Laugh at that.
I'm sorry, I completely didn't realize that was a joke. It didn't even register. I was like, oh, that was I was like,
oh,
like,
I should have pity laughed.
it was too late for me to even do that. I was like, you told me to laugh, and I was like, oh, because he said a joke. Oh, that was a joke.
Oh.
My bad.
And so we get a message from the Mad Tinkerer, who is like trying to explain to Sherlock Holmes, like, okay, so we sent a man named Deadpool into your reality so he can attempt to kill everything that would create our reality, or the ideas of our realities. And we sent you this in hopes, because we know we're dead. but we sent you this in hopes that it could work, so that you could try and stop Deadpool. And we cut back to the Pacific Ocean, and Deadpool's like slaughtering all of Captain Ahad's men.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Ahad's like running, he's like, "Get the fuck away from me!" And as he's running, Deadpool sees him change to General Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh yeah, the guy that hunts the Hulk.
Yep. Because Captain Ahab is hunting Moby Dick. General Thunderbolt Ross is hunting the Hulk.
Oh.
And as he's like stabbing into him, he's also seeing like he's also the Red Hulk. So like he is becoming the thing that he wants to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, please, like have mercy. He's like, come on, Ahab, with all the bluster and righteous fury when you really need it. And Deadpool hears something behind him going off, and it's a giant ship. And it's the Nautilus. And it grabbed it from 300 leagues deep in the sea, and it grabs Captain Ahab and saves him. And it's like grabbing all like the rest of his men to like save him, and it grabs Deadpool, and tentacles are prying out to attack Deadpool, and he zooms out of there. And we see he goes to St. Petersburg, Missouri, where a young boy is painting a fence. And he was like, "What are you doing, Tom? Chores?" Like, I wouldn't really call it chores. It was just fun. He's like, "Who are you fooling? That ain't fun." Like, "Oh, no, it's fun. Hey, you see this guy wearing some red clothes? Yeah, he's looking like a fancy pig, and he looks like he has a fancy pig sticker. He's just like a..." And then you see a bunch of red and brain matter hit the fence. Deadpool shot and killed Tom Sawyer.
Damn. I mean, done. I meant done.
I already said fuck like several times. Like, okay, let's be honest. I'm not even gonna cut that penis thing out. That's.
Hey, neither did the doctors.
Oh my god, I am.
I'm on the wall today, baby.
God damn it. And so Deadpool, after he kills him, is like, "How much fun is Pence fading now?" And then we cut to Transylvania.
The good old Dracula,
Yeah.
Ivan Terrible.
Ivan Terrible and Dracula. And Dracula's like making like beating down Deadpool. Like, "You came into my sanctuary and you are trying to murder me? Do you not know who the fuck I am?" And he throws him across, and Deadpool's looking at Dracula and he's like, "No wonder kids like you, no wonder kids don't like you. They like fucking Edward more than you. You see, this is why I'm 100% Team Jacob." And then he sees, as he's fighting Dracula morphing into Stephen Strange.
Oh.
And then he morphs back. He's like, "Okay, we got..." Deadpool's like counting, "Okay, we got candles, sexy ladies in the night. As far as death goes, this sounds hot." And he's like, he grabs onto one of them and starts burning them to death. And he starts fighting Dracula, and he's decapitated all of them.
Damn.
And he starts like talking to himself like, "Okay, so in one fell swoop, I just collect all the vampires in our universe." So that goes like Dracula, Morbius, Baron Blood, Blade, and the Red Thought's like, "Well, that's in theory. Like, who knows how else he could have come? Who else could have killed because of this? Like Doctor Strange, also Bloodstone. Maybe you killed characters that are also derivatives of vampires." And you're like, "Oh, so you think this might set off a chain reaction that could destroy me too?" It's like, yeah. That's how we'll know you've won. And then we cut to Sleepy Hollow, New York. And we see he's fighting up against Ghost Rider. And it's Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
But we know this isn't Johnny Blaze. This is the Headless Horseman. And it throws a pumpkin bomb at Deadpool.
Oh, that Green Goblin.
That Green Goblin. And he actually turns into the Green Goblin at this point. And he's like, "You're always one of my favorites around campfires. But it's kind of it's actually kind of really depressing, but you gotta go." And so he guts the horse that he's riding on. And we see that inside the body of the Headless Horseman is Brahm, who in the story of Sleepy Hollow made Ichabod Crane run away in fear of the Headless Horseman because he like put so much fear into him that he was real.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, don't worry. I'm not a monster. I'm a genie in a bottle. And you want to be the Headless Horseman, right? And so he decapitates him and he puts candles into his mouth. He's like,
Dang.
wish granted.
That's brutal.
Very much so. And so we see him in Concord, Massachusetts, and he's getting the shit beaten out of him by the Little Women. And they're just beating the living hell out of him. One of them cuts his fingers off, one of them starts stabbing him, one of them's beating him with a frying pan, and he sees they're turning into the A-Team.
The A-Team?
Well, there's a team of like Avengers that is like all female.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of saw like a bit of them in Endgame, if you've seen Endgame.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Basically, like, she like one of them turns into like She-Hulk, the other one Black Widow, the other one Elektra. I forget who this one is.
I think that's Mockingbird.
Maybe.
One of those two.
One of those two.
She
And
mocks.
so he's like, okay, you guys, Little Women, okay, that's nice, that's sweet, but you're really pissing me off. He throws a grenade into him and blows them all up. He's like, okay, I don't get this. I killed Spider-Man, the Avengers, the X-Men, yet 3 dusty old bitches who just beat the shit out of me. What the fuck is this? And so we're back to Sherlock Holmes, and he's like talking to us like, okay. I want to forgive the intrusions I made into your world, but I need you for something drastic. For somebody in this world is trying to disrupt and disturb every fabric of this world's well-being, and I can't stop him without the help of you. And we see that he's talking to Natty Bumppo, Beowulf, Mulan, and Dr. Watson.
He's talking to Matty Bumppo.
Matty Bumppo is a hunter
Mm-hmm.
from one of his, I forget which story he's in, but he's basically birthed the Avengers, but of the classics.
Oh, okay.
He made
yeah,
a teaming. I mean, it made a team up.
I got you.
And so we cut to Christmas future, and Scrooge is talking to the Ghost of Christmas Future, but he's actually talking to Deadpool as he's shot the Ghost of Christmas Future to death. He's like, you know what? Look. Sim, Scott, Murray, Finney, Winkler, and even Lucci are all better Scrooges than you. And when I'm done, your funeral is going to be of the closed casket variety.
Damn.
And the red box is like, okay, enough jokes, just do it. And we cut to Ingolstadt, where Dr. Frankenstein is giving birth to his monster, Frankenstein's monster.
Mm-hmm.
And it attacks him like in the story, but it's different. Because Deadpool beforehand killed Igor. And instead of putting another brain into his, like a surrogate's brain into Frankenstein's, he put a piece of his own brain into Frankenstein.
Oh.
And we see Frankenstein like grabbing the neck of Frankenstein's monster, grabbing the neck of Dr. Frankenstein, and we see, I believe he turns into the Jackal. I believe that's the Jackal.
Yeah, I think so.
And in one fell swoop, Frankenstein's monster cracks his neck, and the red box starts talking to him. But it's in the form of Frankenstein, so Frankenstein is talking to him.
So he doesn't have it in there.
Yeah, the red box in his brain is now inside Frankenstein's. He's like, you know, I now know what this feeling's like, doing all the dirty work yourself. It's very liberating. And so we cut to Sherlock Holmes, and he's looking over all of the instances where Deadpool has invaded.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's on the Doctor of Island Monroe, the island of Dr. Monroe, and he's like killed all of the half-animal, half-human hybrids. He's at Lilliput, and there's a bunch of cats eating the little people of Gulliver's Travels. He goes to Rome, 44 BC, which I believe is the Odyssey, and he's killed all of them there.
Oh, dang.
And then we cut to India in the 1900s, and he's fighting a bunch of animals.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, talking animals? If I knew I had to kill a bunch of mouthy critters, I would have invaded the cartoon universe already. And we see he's in the world of the Jungle Book because he's being attacked by Mowgli and Bagheera, and they're both like beating on him. And a bear starts attacking Frankenstein's monster because it could smell that it killed his children. Or sorry, it could smell that Frankenstein's monster is dead, and it doesn't like the smell of dead things, so it starts attacking.
Okay.
And you know, it makes quick work of the bear. And as they're fighting, do you know who this is?
That's Kazar or Kazar.
Kazar?
He's like he lives in the Savage Lands.
Okay.
In this like
Because he looked familiar. I couldn't pinpoint who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is this, like a young Thor?
Yeah, no.
But no, he's like being attacked, and like he starts talking about, like, you know, I actually made a deal with somebody who wants to kill you way more than I do, and like I even told him, like, you know, when I'm done, I'm killing you as well. But he didn't really care, and it's Shere Khan the tiger.
Oh wow.
And Frankenstein's monster grabs the bear and he like slams him onto the trunk. Slams her onto a trunk of a dead rhino. So, sorry, dead elephant, and kills her. Is like he looks over and he sees that Mowgli and Shere Khan have like killed each other.
Oh wow.
And Bagheera sees this and he's like, "We had so many stories to tell." And Deadpool puts a knife under Bagheera's neck. He's like, "Don't worry, when I'm done, there won't be any stories left to tell." He slashes his throat. And so we cut back to the Caribbean. We cut to the Caribbean seas in 1754, and we see the Little Mermaid swimming around the destruction of the Hispaniola. And Captain Nemo is talking with Captain Ahab, but this is strange. The Nautilus shouldn't be here. Like, this was destroyed way before my time. It shouldn't be here. Like, something is happening. There's an anomaly happening, like a cancer that is rotting existence itself. It's like everything is folding in upon itself. And I can't explain why this is happening. And one of the ship's crew members is like, "Captain, we have survivors." And like, "Oh, really? Survivors? I'll bring them in. Maybe they could be helpful." And Ahab's like, "Well, what if it's the same guys that tried to kill me earlier?" And they're like, "Well, be one step closer to finding," and it's Frankenstein's monster and Deadpool.
Oh, of course.
And Frankenstein was like, "Don't worry about finding this." And they start tearing into everyone in the ship. Deadpool stabs Captain Ahab to death, and he's looking at Captain Nemo, and he's putting two swords to his neck, and he's like, "You're a sucker for actually believing us. This is called a sucker punch, Captain." And he sees that Captain Nemo is turning into Magneto.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "You know what? I'm not finished with you. Not yet." And so he ties Captain Nemo to a torpedo, and he fires that torpedo into the Little Mermaid, and the Little Mermaid turns into Namor. And they both blow up, and Deadpool starts laughing like, "Did you see that? The Little Mermaid turned into Namor."
It's like that scene from Punisher was where the guy was in midair doing a flip. And he was doing a flip in midair, you know, jumping from building to building, did a flip in midair, and caught a rocket from the from Punisher.
Frank Castle fires a rocket as this dude flipping, and it fucking hits him. We were just watching Punisher Warzone earlier, so that's when he brought this goddamn thing up.
It's brutal.
It was fucking brutal, but fucking hilarious. And Deadpool's like, "You know, I just realized we have control of this entire sub now." And so they go to the Strait of Messina, where they are being attacked by Scylla and Charybdis.
Yeah.
Charybdis.
Yeah.
And as he's like battling them, while he's battling them, it cuts to Sherlock Holmes investigating more murders. And he's in Scotland in the 1057s, and he sees a bunch of witches in their cauldron being dead, boiling in them. He's killed the witches of Macbeth. Then he cuts to Baltimore in 1845, where he's killed the man from The Raven. Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven.
Yeah.
And then he goes to London in 1884, and he shot the painting of Dorian Gray.
Oh.
And I love that detail.
That's actually pretty nice.
Because Dorian Gray, for those who don't know, with some of these, Dorian Gray is a person whose soul is trapped within a painting, and the only way that painting and that painting is basically attached to his youth. So the more Dorian Gray does evil, like, killing, cheating, it's basically just bad stuff, the painting becomes more and more disgusting as a representation of his soul. And so Deadpool shot the painting to kill the soul, killing Dorian Gray. But this is also another one of my favorites, because he goes to the apartment of Gregor Samsa in 1912. He's...
I'm a little familiar with this one.
Okay. So I believe this is a reference to, not Death of a Salesman, but there's another story where a man slowly becomes a cockroach, and his family start to ostracize him for being a cockroach. And I believe it's not he's not physically turning into a cockroach, but he's becoming a hermit in his own in his life and in his house. So Deadpool took that literally and killed the man.
Wow.
Which I believe is Death of a Salesman, but I could be wrong. I may very well be wrong. Do not quote me on that, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're back to the Strait of Messina, and Deadpool fires harpoons into Scylla, and he sees Scylla turning into Galactus.
Oh.
And he fires him into Scylla and starts pulling Scylla down into Charybdis. So in essence, he's destroyed both. Oh no, never mind. He fires himself. He pulled Scylla into Cerberus, which causes Cerberus to start consuming Scylla, while he himself is firing into Cerberus and blowing him up using the Pequod.
Interesting.
And as he leaves, he teleports to Paris in 1627, where he is fighting off against the Three Musketeers. Athos, Aramis, Porthos, and D'Artagnan. And Deadpool was like, I kind of have a bone to pick with you guys. What kind of fucking candy bar doesn't have nuts in it? And the two start killing all four of them. And Deadpool gets a sword to the brain. And he starts speaking gibberish. He's like, that's a nice sundress you have there, Professor X. Is Lady Deathstrike ready? I'm here to take her to the prom. And Frankenstein's mouse is like, are you okay? The car of the future, I tell you. I built it myself and it runs like bees veins, the magical fruit. And then he starts thinking just they're dying off. Folding in upon themselves. We are killing the very definition of teamwork. I can feel reality itself folding in. It's dying. And he stabbed, I believe, D'Artagnan to death. And something's wrong. I'm still alive because I'm not working. Something's wrong. It's no fair. I'm not the only one with the healing. I'm not the only one here with the healing factor, am I? And he looks around and he's killed the Three Musketeers. He's killed the very concept of a team. All the teams in the Marvel Universe, Defenders, the Champions, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, all of them dead because he killed the Three Musketeers. And then Frankenstein's monster is shot with arrows into his chest. And he sees that it's Sherlock Holmes and his team. And a fight ensues. And Matty Van Poe is facing off against Deadpool, and Beowulf is facing off against Frankenstein's monster. And Frankenstein's monster is ripping off. Beowulf starts ripping off Frankenstein's monster's arms. He's like, I've battled monsters worse than you. And so Frankenstein's monster headbutts him so hard, cracks his skull and pops an eye out and kills him. And then Watson shoots Frankenstein's monster in the head and kills him. And the red box returns to Deadpool's head.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's good to be home. Like, you were never really gone, were you? You were just quiet. Like, I thought everything reverts to the status quo. Like, everything goes back the way it was. And as he's fighting Matty Van Poe, he pushes him into Mulan's sword. Yeah. And as Mulan's fighting off against Deadpool, he cuts her arm off. I said she cuts his arm off. He's like, I thought you were the hottest dude I've ever seen, but look at what you've done!
The hottest dude?
Because she cut off the hand that had the teleporter on it. Like, that's how he's been, like, he has a teleporting wristwatch. That's how he's been bouncing around these other worlds. Mm-hmm. But he sees the time machine that Sherlock Holmes and his team were on, and he starts going over to it, and then Sherlock Holmes bows him to it. And the two start fighting in the Idea-verse.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Like, in that... Okay.
And Deadpool kicks Sherlock Holmes, like, get off me, Holmes! Get it? And Sherlock Holmes is like, you're done. Your murdering spree is over. You've caused reality to collapse upon itself. Different worlds, different times, different stories, they're falling in upon themselves. But, you know, when you're gone, everything can heal. And Deadpool's like, you are an absolute moron. Like, you don't understand. I've won. I planted the seed. I planted the seed to kill the greatest stories ever known. Like, no. I planted the seed to get people to buy it. Everything is born when people start buying these things. Like the universe will heal. Ideas will heal. The Idea-verse in this world will heal, but it will heal like a bone that isn't set properly. It'll heal disjointed and wrong. And we're cut with intersplices of like kids reading the stories of like the Jungle Book, where kids like and Baloo thought the child looked delicious, and so he devoured him into 4 bloody bits. It's like, you can't stop an idea. Someone's gonna pick up on it. Someone's gonna run with it. And that was spread like a disease. From one reality to the next, the idea that heroes can die. And we see a kid with his other friends at a comic book store, and he has a copy of Deadpool Killustrated. Like, everything collapses, the ideas are weakened now, and they can't support themselves, and they'll start to vanish. And Deadpool's hand that was slowly growing back, like, falls off. Mm-hmm. Because it didn't grow back long enough for it to completely, like, hold on. Yeah. And so he's, like, floating in the Idea-verse. And he's like, everything's collapsing. Realities and ideas are collapsing. And will follow. Like, so this is, and Deadpool's like, so this is the end of everything. That's kind of pretty. But then we cut to Sherlock Holmes, and he's, like, sitting in a time machine. He's like, you have to remember, Holmes. You have to remember. And the first thing he says is, call me Ishmael. It says, set the bone, keep them alive, remember.
Interesting.
And that is the end of Deadpool Killustrated.
Ooh! That's a nice, more That's a big thinker, I think. Wasn't the last one.
Yeah, this one really. Oh, sorry. This one sets a lot. And I just broke the bed. And no, it's fine. And this really, I like this one a lot more than Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it's still that Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe like flavor where he's insane, he's killing everything to a genocidal degree, but he's going further with it now.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't just now a self-contained story where Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. No, he is now going into the very fabrics of things we've read now.
Mm-hmm.
Or of things we've seen in cartoons and television and movies. Like, he's going into those ideas and he's destroying them from within.
He's like, yeah, I was also just destroying the ideas, I guess.
Yeah, or at least if he's not destroying them, he's changing them so drastically that things, at least in this universe, will never be the same until Sherlock Holmes, I believe, sets everything back into place.
Mm-hmm.
Set the bone. And I really like this, and I'm kind of sad Deadpool Kills Deadpool.
Isn't that good?
It's not that it's not that good. Again, it's just that it's very lackluster. Like it starts high, ends kind of middling, if you will.
Okay.
But yeah, that was Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, and that was Deadpool Killustrated. I really like these.
Some good books.
I'll put the links in the description where you can get these two stories, and I'll maybe also put in Deadpool Kills Deadpool if you want to read that. I would also kind of recommend the Deadpool Core because that goes into Deadpool Kills Deadpool. But I would just stick with these two. And if you're just a completionist, go on with that one. But this is George, this is Cleo,
Yo.
and we'll see you later.